Okay, everybody, let's get this started because I think we have an amazing guest here today. So first of all NRELians, thank you for coming. And I know that almost everybody has to be online because, Mr. Secretary, this is the biggest room we have here. So we had to be very restrictive in getting people in here because we had to give tickets away because I know almost all NRELians, they wanted to be here with you. So everybody else is online watching what we're doing here. So with this, it's my great honor and privilege to you all to to introduce a very special guest. I think you all know who I'm talking about because you read all our all-hands notes. So it's a great honor for me to introduce Secretary Chris Wright. He was confirmed as the 17th Secretary of the U.S. Department of Energy. So Chris brings the position of decades of experience in the energy industry, most recently as the chairman and CEO of Liberty Energy. We all know Liberty Energy. We all saw your advertisements on Colorado TV. Here, right here in Colorado. So that's another home play you have to play because, you know, Secretary is here from Colorado, and this is when I read his resume. It's also clearly coming through. So let me first a little bit your background. So I think I can say this. You describe yourself as an energy nerd. So you fit in right here to all NRELians. That's what we are here. So you get your undergrad degree in mechanical engineering from MIT, Berkeley, and in electrical engineering at MIT and UC Berkeley. So like all Coloradian, like all of us, Secretary loves to go to the outdoor world. So from skiing and hiking and biking, like everybody here at NREL. A lot of there's some comments. We always say all buddy here at NREL, 2 reasons we all here. Number 1 is our mission. Number 2, because we love Colorado and the outdoors. So you just fit in to our crowd here at NREL. So with this, I would like to say thank you for being here, and I hand the microphone over to you. Thank you very much, Secretary.
Thank you. I don't need the microphone. Thank you, Mark. Wow. Thank you, and I am honored to be here. You know, just as for probably a lot of you, this is my hometown. This is where I grew up. Yeah, and certainly climbing Clear Creek Canyon, El Dorado Canyon, cycling all around here. And like all of you, I spent most of my life, all of my adult life, working in energy. You know, I think energy is that basic infrastructure that enables everything humans do. It's why we live a much different quality of life than all of our ancestors did. Better energy system, better society, better life. And when I grew up here, I was in high school here in the 1980s. And there was a belief then the world was going to end by the year 2000. Hydrocarbons, of course, were the enemy then. The details were different, but the story was basically the same. But then it was that we were running out of this energy, this critical energy source. You can't have industrial civilization and quality of life without that. It's the reason I didn't want to leave Colorado. I left Colorado to go to college and went to MIT for a very specific reason, to work on fusion energy. They had 2 tokamak reactors. To me, that looked like the most promising thing that could scale up and be huge. I still believe that. It's a very tricky problem. But you watch in the next 5, 10, 15 years, just enormous advancements come into fusion energy, fission energy, and all the things you're working on. I worked in solar energy in graduate school. I worked in geothermal energy right after. I only got to oil and gas later, and that's only because of this gal I met, my wife, who, when I needed they missed my first check at Berkeley, and I needed to make money quickly. I got a consulting job, so I'm the weird person living in Berkeley, working in Mountain View was my intro to the oil and gas industry. And I spent most of my oil and gas career in those 2 oil and gas capitals of the world of Cambridge, Massachusetts, and San Francisco, California. In fact, the only place I've ever lived that has any connection to the oil and gas business was Denver. You know, but I grew up in south of Denver instead of north of Denver. I didn't even know there was oil and gas production in Denver. But I moved back here so that my kids that had been born and were starting to bring up in the Bay Area, that they would be Coloradans because we love Colorado. So to be back to my hometown, straight from the airport to my mom's house last night, and then to be here at NREL with all of you is a pretty awesome day. Not all of my days have been as awesome as today. And the range of stuff I saw today, different people that spoke on different technologies, whatever, incredibly impressive. Passionate, smart people that you can see from their heart that believe in what they're doing, that love what they're doing. And an increasing amount of the work here, I think, is on stuff that are critical. You know, we've had 20 years with almost very flat growth in electricity demand. We've had growth in energy demand, but not so much in electricity demand. And in the last 20 years, I think the US has made a mistake. We've made it hard to build big, expensive, energy-intensive things in our country, and we exported overseas most of our energy-intensive manufacturing. Last year, US consumes 100 exajoules of energy a year, 25 used for manufacturing. Globally, over 40% of all energy is used for making stuff. It's by far the biggest use of energy. But a lot of what we consume, we just don't make it here. It's made in Asia, in coal-powered plants, and we load it on diesel-powered ships and bring it back, and we call it green. That's of course, silly. And so what I think is critical that we don't make that mistake with the next energy-intensive manufacturing industry, which is AI. This is enormous amount of energy in its highest and therefore most expensive form of electricity to manufacture intelligence. What do we think the demand growth for intelligence is? Infinite, right? Now, I'd love some more intelligence myself. How much can I get? And how much energy we put in is how much intelligence we're going to get out. Of course, we're engineers. We'll be smart. We'll be efficient. We'll be getting more and more intelligence per unit of input, but that'll grow that demand. So to make our electricity grid able to grow, be stable, keep prices, stop the rise we've seen, 25% rise in the price of electricity over the last 4 years. Americans are mad and angry and upset about that, which is why they're all worried about AI. No, we don't want new demand on our grid. That's just going to make our prices more expensive. We need to show them we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We've got to grow our electricity production capacity without rising the prices to consumers. And we've got to keep our grid stable, not just the complicated system stable, but the increasing cyber threats and people that want to do us harm on our grid. And of course, those last several sentences are describing the work of you in this room. So what you're doing is incredibly important. We need to continue to advance our energy system. We need to continue to make electricity much more abundant in supply without driving the price up. And the tiny bits I've looked to try to do to help in my short tenure. I've been either a tech nerd or an entrepreneur my entire life. My government service is 3 months now, so I am very new at this business and probably very clumsy at it. But the two things I did early on, number one, I love the national labs. And I believe that since I was a high school kid in Colorado, not far from here. They are the fount of basic science and research in our country. And in this lab, collaboration with industry and taking technologies from basic science and into commercial application and shepherding them along the way. So one of the first things I did was get all the lab directors, I think 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks after being confirmed, get everybody to come and spend an afternoon and a dinner and some wine with me. Martin was there, of course. And my ask was, what can I do to help? How can we make our labs more efficient? How can we get more done for the same inputs? And I got a list of recommendations of things we can do. And we dove into that, and we looked at the most important ones, and immediately, or relatively immediately in government terms, I signed a secretarial order to make those changes so that things can be built faster, things can be built cheaper. Just get some of the bureaucracy out of the way and unleash all of your energies and talents. Focus on science and technology and not on bureaucracy. And the other thing we just announced today, and NREL is a great candidate for this as well, is, look, we've got a lot of land. We've got a lot of land, and we want to win this AI race or stay in the lead of that race. Of course, it'll never end. There's no finish line, but stay in the lead of that. And so we just sent out today a request for information from any developers. We have land. We have land at all of our national labs and DOE sites around the country. Who wants to come build a data center, build nearby energy system, use the technology and smarts we've got at the national lab wherever you're locating it, maybe donate some computing power to us or some lease money for the lands that'll help fund our research. So we're trying to find different ways to make the labs far faster, smarter, better, and more self-sufficient, more funding from other sources as well. But I'll stop there. But again, my bigger words are thank you. Thank you for your passion in your mission. Thank you for coming to work every day and trying to drive our energy system better, our technology leadership better. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thank you, Mr. Secretary. I mean, two things which, I mean, you spoke to our heart. So as you all know, all NRELians know this because a lot of people in the room worked hard in 2 days to turn this around and applied already to the data center, what we're trying to do with the Flatirons. So we talked about this earlier. And then you all know, every day we walk by at eMaps, showing how the memo you signed will help us to accelerate this, make it even cheaper, and put a lot of the savings back into the building. The same for all the other contracting projects we have here. So, Secretary, we want to thank you for this because, as all the lab directors, you spoke to us and you took a lot of this concerns away. How can we? Because I remember what you said to the lab directors. How can you do what you do even faster and move it faster through the system? So, thank you for helping us. We have a little gift for you from all NRELians. So an artist put this rendering together of our laboratory. So we thought we put it small that you can hang it somewhere, but this is just a little bit of a reminder for your visit here. And in name of all the NRELians, I want to say thank you for spending this day with us. You as a Colorado, you're always welcome. So you will get an honorary NREL badge. You can come in here anytime. And if you have any questions, call us, and we will, because you're Colorado, you're part of the family. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your time, and thank you for Alex and everybody else being here with us today. I think we had a good visit, and it will continue. So, and for you all NRELians, thanks for spending some time with us today, this afternoon. Thank you very much.
So Martin, here's the gift I brought. I don't know if it stacks up in comparison. Also a new thing for me, you get to make a coin. And it's not a penny, or it's even bigger than a quarter. But my coin celebrates what I think are the critical things, which is secure, affordable, reliable energy. That's what makes society great and our country great. I give that to Martin. And I end with a question, and I have like a cheat sheet, you know, that you're able to bring into some of your tests. So what's the most beautiful of the 17 national laboratories?
That's easy. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.